How's it going, guys? It's your boy Poppy Wolf, and we're out here talking about episode 68 of the final season of Attack on Titan, aka the episode's titled Brave Volunteers. And let's jump right into this episode because there's a lot going on that I actually really do appreciate, and some stuff that's backlash from what last episode was. But let's just get into it. So we start this episode with Armin talking to the seashell, the conch, if you will. The same thing that he used to put his ear to so he could hear the ocean, but we don't see who he's talking to. It seems kind of like he's monologuing, but later we find out he's actually telling this speech to somebody. Regardless of that, we get into how the Eldians our Eldians started getting weapons and learning about the outside world, and that's because they would capture every Marleyan ship. And it turns out that when they captured the first ship, they had a couple of volunteers, people who were trying to free the Eldians, and they bring them aboard. They integrate them into the camps, and they start learning more about them. They start learning how guns work, how to make rifles, engines, different culinaries, and it kind of continues in that degree for a tad bit. And then they carry on a message from Zeke Yeager, and Zeke is trying to go on with a plan to free the Eldians. And it seems like Zeke all this time, I don't know if he was to be trusted or not. Well, this is his master plan. This was his plan all along, which was to free the Eldians from this oppression. The only thing that hits me is, was this plan long term, or was this a newfound plan? Because we know he betrays Dina and Eren's dad, Grisha, back when he was a boy. So I can only assume that this plan is new after realizing some things that he learns along the way. Now, what those things are, we don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure he kind of has this change of mind, possibly after he runs into Eren and sees Eren, because I remember he says, like, you were brainwashed by Grisha, and that was, again, the years have passed, so I can only assume he's wants to make up some sort of plea bargain with his little brother. But we don't know yet. I'm still thinking it's something along the lines of that. But as we continue more through the episode, we see how they've kind of grown as a society thanks to all that. And along the lines of that too is Eren confirms that Zeke's message about using the founding Titan and a Titan with royal blood, how that would work and the benefit for them, is he relays the flashback he had when he touched Dina's fist and when he was able to call a mountain of Titans to fight for him. He also explains the only reason why he didn't tell anybody was because he was afraid that they were going to use Historia and turn her into a Titan in order for them to make this plan go on, regardless of having Zeke in his Zeke with them. But it's hard to know what will happen and what's going to go on with all this, though. It really is. We continue more with I don't know how to pronounce his name, like Ongapo, who's teaching them, how to make aircrafts and stuff. And they really do hit him with that big question of like, why is your skin darker? And then he kind of conveys like, because God wanted a mix of people. He didn't want just one color of people. And they like, that joke would have killed with everybody, but they're the ones that are most confused because they're trying to figure out, like, so there are other people in this world. There are other ethnicities, other colors of people. Because these people, this is the first black person they've ever seen. And it's kind of funny how they're it's not that they're ignorant, but it's just like they've never met another person, and how like they're, at first glance, they're just like, oh, he's a person, but they just don't understand why his skin happens to be darker than other people. Then as the episode continues through the flashbacks, we still get more of like Nicolo cooking and how everybody's like, oh, seafood, what is this? And then of course Sasha's the first one to dig in, and Nicolo kind of has this crush for Sasha. Has this crush for Sasha. And it's kind of cute because you're like, damn, like, if only he knew what was gonna happen. If only he knew. And as we continue, we get to Sasha's graveyard, and it's really sweet to see everyone there, and it's really heartbreaking to see like her father there and her family, and how Nicolo is like, look, anytime you guys are hungry, just let me know, I'll cook for you. Sasha's dad, of course, says, is it on the house? Like, fuck, dude, this family just loves eating. But it's sweet though. Like that's his way of like memorizing, keeping her memory alive is cooking for her family, which I do really like a lot. There's more hidden stuff with Aaron's philosophy of why they need to go to war. Armin's such the optimist that he's like, no, we can probably go a ways around war. We don't have to just deliberately attack. But Aaron's so quick to be like, no, Armin, there's no diplomacy here. There's no way where we win this war without bloodshed. And it's funny because I'm watching this show when I'm watching Doctor Stone, and it's funny how Senku, with all his genius, is fighting a war just so no one can die. Well, Eren, his whole thing is there's no fighting this war without anyone dying. There's only we win with the blood on our hands, and it's so crazy because Armin says there was a time where I knew Eren better than even Mikasa, and I don't even know that anymore. I don't even know Eren anymore like the way he is, and like it finally reveals to us who he's talking to. It's Sasha. It's not Sasha. It's oh my lord, it's Annie, and it's always been kind of funny that Annie and Armin have had this kind of like they kind of looked alike, one, but he has this kind of like, I wouldn't say crush, but this admiration towards her, this kind of soft heart towards her, and how he's kind of like he confides in her because of how she confided in him so much. And the episode ends with Eren cutting his hair and slicking his hair back, and this honestly feels like the rise of Eren's antagonistic ways. And I know Eren is the protagonist, but it's not even an anti-hero so much of what Eren's doing. It's more of what must be done hero. And the sad part is like what must be done isn't going to be like saving the world or anything, but it's uniting the world and freeing his people. It's freedom. Eren's always fought for freedom. Even for episode 1, he's wanted to go beyond the walls to be free. He's wanted to go beyond the ocean to be free. Like, Eren's battle for freedom will cost the lives of sacrifice. And the scariest part is like, how far is that? How far is he willing to fly? How far is he willing to swim to make sure that everyone is free? And at the end of the day, like, Eren will turn himself into the enemy of the world, will be literally the villain of the show, just to give his friends and family the freedom that he so much wanted. And only through death do I truly believe that Eren will grab that freedom. And it's like we only have 4 chapters left of the manga to go. I said episodes last time, I know, but we only have 4 chapters left of the manga. And I know the manga, I think, is monthly at the moment, but it's gonna hurt when the series ends, because seeing it's kind of like Breaking Bad. We see a good character who, in a sense, he's always had this in him, this resilience, this, not I want to say evilness, but like this strength to do what must be done. And to see this in Eren I see this in growing in Eren since episode 1 to like now. It's just it's been so natural, it's been so great, and at the same time too, I'm only a fan of this because it's done so well. For other characters in media that they've tried this with, it's always just been so rushed or like not even committed, or it's always felt so like wishy-washy. It's never felt the degree of where I was like, this is deserved, this is what we needed. But then in this series is the first time where I'm thinking this was the only conclusion away for this character to get what he wanted. In acting, there's a style of you have to get what you want at all costs. You have to play different actions, and whatever action gets you what you want is what you play. And you have to do it at all costs. You have to commit to getting what you want. And all Eren wants is freedom, and he's tried everything. He's tried defeating, like, he's looked at it, he's looked for an enemy. He's looked so hard, whether it's in the Titans, whether it's in the Marleyans, whether it's in the government of the wall. Like, he looked for enemies so far, and this is the first time when he's looked at these enemies and thought, the true enemy is me, and I have to give it to them, so that way my people can be free, my race can be free. Sorry, my audio cut out, guys, but like I was saying, at the end of the day, like this is what Eren wants to give freedom, or this is what he's willing to do for freedom. And with that final scene with him slicking his hair back, looking at himself in the mirror, it's that deeper breath of him seeing the new Eren, not the same old kid he's always been, but the true hero he has to be. He has to be the Itachi Uchiha. He has to be the Walter White. He has to do everything he must just to get what he wants ultimately. And this episode, honestly, guys, this episode is just solidifying everything I'm saying. If I had to give this rating episode, I'm gonna give it like a solid A minus because it's a 9 out of 10 episode. Like I see it happening. I see like the growth, like the background story of how the Eldians got everything, like the weapons and how they launched and started this attack. How everyone has just been, I don't want it to come to this. To the point where Aaron was like, it was always gonna come to this. It was always gonna be this. And if you guys thought different, then you were just ignorant. But it's scary how far Aaron is willing to go for this. And I think what hurts the most is seeing how his friends react to every action of this. It's sad to see Mikasa look at Eren like this. It's sad to see Armin like this. It's sad for Levi, for all their friends to look at Eren and think, you're doing this for what, Eren? What is the point of us doing all this war for? What's the point of all this bloodshed? All our friends buried? What is the point? And he sees beyond it, and it's just freedom. Freedom for our people. I know this is painful. I know this hurts. I know we don't want it to come to this, but it's necessary and it must be done. And it's this conviction from Eren that just made his character so much more bearable, so much more exciting, and so much more interesting than any character I've seen in media at the moment. Like, he went from being just so ignorant, so unbeknownst to know what his true enemy is, to know what his true enemy is, and to be the true enemy that he is. It's such a journey, guys, and I can talk all day and day about Eren's. Like, I would even say fall to rise, because he's always been kind of I wouldn't say like a horrible character, but his character always felt missing. And to see it rise and be so interesting now, to have so much conviction, and to do what's most necessary to get everything done. I don't know how else to say that. It's a fall to rise character with Eren. But yeah, guys, this is a 9 out of 10 episode. This is your boy Poppy Wolf saying peace out. I definitely love this episode. Can't wait for next week. Straight out fire anime. I'm loving the final season, guys. Like and comment down below if you agree with me, or if you think Eren's fall is a fall to rise more than rise to fall. And remember, 1,000 subscribers, guys. Let me know. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Lights.